How often do you ask yourself, why do bad things happen to good people? I ask myself that question nearly every day. Every day, people perform tremendous acts of kindness, yet those same people are inflicted with tragedy, misfortune, or worse. Suffering is a part of the human condition, and it is our decision about what we do with that suffering and how we allow it to affect our lives. There are countless prominent examples of bad things happening to good people. I would like to share two of those, as well as a personal example, with you all today. Payne Stewart was a professional golfer on the PGA Tour. He was a standout player on the U.S. Ryder Cup team and won 11 PGA Tour events, including the U.S. Open Championship in 1991 and 1999, and the PGA Championship in 1989. As successful as he was on the golf course, he ultimately became more known for his successful traits and characteristics off of the course. Off the course, he allowed his faith to guide him. He was an impeccable friend, husband, father, example for young people, and ambassador for the game of golf, which meant being a classic gentleman. The moment that most came to define Payne Stewart's faith, love of family, and values came in the moments immediately after he won the 1999 U.S. Open. After sinking the winning putt, Stewart enthusiastically approached the player he beat, Phil Mickelson, who in less than 24 hours was about to have his first child. Stewart approached Mickelson and embraced his face and said, quote, "Wow, you're about to become a father, and there is nothing more important than that," end quote. At one of the most important professional moments of his life, Stewart was not thinking of himself, but of his rival. This perfectly demonstrates Stewart's love of family, selflessness, and modesty. Months after his last win at the U.S. Open, Stewart was tragically killed in a plane crash in South Dakota. His death was heartbreaking to golf, his family and friends, and those who admired him. Today, the Payne Stewart Award is given to the PGA Tour player whose, quote, "values align with the character, charity, and sportsmanship that became the hallmark of Stewart's life. Although he passed before I was born, Payne's legacy has taught me many things about how I want to live my life. He exemplified what I want to be as a father, husband, and friend, which is steady and loyal. He also lived the importance of selfless service to others and treating every person with dignity and respect. After thinking about all these characteristics, it is very hard to comprehend why something so awful can happen to a man with such character. Another person of exceptional character that had something negative happen to him is Chris Kyle. Chris Kyle was the most decorated sniper in U.S. history and has the most confirmed kills of any U.S. sniper ever. His patriotism, Christian faith, and love for his fellow Navy SEALs was second to none. He is quoted as saying his biggest regrets, quote, "are about the people I couldn't save," end quote. Kyle faced emotional challenges during his time of active service because it was difficult for him to separate his war life from his life at home. After being wounded in battle and retiring from the military, he not only dedicated his life to his wife and 2 children, but also to serving the returning veterans and helping them to acclimate to everyday life. He uniquely understood their challenges, needs, and desired to feel normal. Service of others would become a significant part of Kyle's legacy. Sadly, at the age of 38, Kyle was shot and killed at a gun range by one of the troubled veterans he was trying to help. Chris Kyle's life and story taught me many things that I have made a part of my life. He reaffirmed my faith in God and love of country. And like Payne Stewart, he highlighted the importance of being a good father and to be committed to your values and those principles that you hold dear. Furthermore, it demonstrated to me how precious life is and to surround yourself with people you love and do everything that you can to help those in need. Although I learned many valuable lessons from Chris Kyle's life, his unfortunate death is part of what makes me ask, why do bad things happen to good people? It may not seem fair, but we need to appreciate the positive things people like Chris Kyle have done for this country and the world, while trying to emulate those lives and attempt to impact the world as they did. This past spring, my family was hit hard by news that none of us saw coming. My mom had been going through some health issues that didn't seem like a big deal at the time. For peace of mind, she went through some tests to ensure that everything was okay. Unfortunately, things were not okay. The test revealed she had stage 4 colon cancer that has spread to the lungs and liver. Hearing this news was the most difficult news I have ever received in my life. The feelings that went through my mind were a mix of anger, sadness, and mostly confusion. My mom is the person I have felt closest to all of my life, and I have no idea what I would do without her. I'm sure my dad would say the same thing. Whether it is talking to me about my day and giving me advice with friends, or driving me to and from countless golf tournaments, she has been there for me every day and in every way. For the longest time, I cannot shake the fact that this has happened to my mom and my family. Numerous people have expressed their sorrow for my mom because they know how good of a person she is. And likewise, they are puzzled how this could happen to her. I have obviously been around my mom my entire life, and in the past few months, I've seen a side to her that I've never seen before. She still cares for others as much as she always has, but now I have truly seen how strong of a woman she is. Sure, she has some good and bad days, but her overall positive attitude has been infectious to my dad and me. Her faith in what the medicine and doctors are doing for her is congruent with her faith in God, which is part of why her attitude is so positive. Several times in this process, I have asked God, why have you done this to my mother? However, after thinking it through, I realized, who am I to judge the decisions that God has made? He is the one who had his own son die for our sake and save us from sin. More than anything, my mom's circumstances have made me realize the question is not if I am going to suffer as a human, it is when. All of the suffering we face on earth will ultimately be worth it when we get to heaven. As Mary, Queen of the Scots said, quote, "My end is my beginning," end quote. It may seem a solemn thought, but human suffering is inevitable and part of human life. It has been hard for me to accept this fact. From these special people, I have also realized how important it is to enjoy life. My dad frequently tells me being happy is a choice. Being happy and always having a positive attitude is paramount if you wish to mentally overcome the suffering that all of us will surely face. If you can be happy in the times that you can control, when you truly face difficult times, they won't be as harsh. Furthermore, after thinking about all these people's stories and witnessing suffering so close to me, I have realized surrounding yourself with people you love and going through suffering together will make life much easier. Mom, let's kick cancer's ass. Thank you and God bless.